The reason that we're doing this podcast today is so that I can share some experiences of my own with the faithful listeners of Free Domain Radio about defooing. I haven't seen my parents in almost 2 years. I think the anniversary date of the last time I saw them is coming up at the end of October. And it's been a real struggle. It's been a real struggle for me. It's not an easy process. I completely empathize and sympathize and have a great deal of compassion for those who are going through this process. And recently, I received a letter from my parents. They've tried to contact me maybe a handful of times in the last couple of years.
And the way that you defooed was with a letter.
Yeah, and I defooed with a letter after a series of things that happened. I don't necessarily want to go into all of that, but
they called me bald. I know. It's not true. I have a fringe. I have tufts.
You do have tufts.
Which are leaping energetically up this morning.
Anyway, they have tried to contact me over the last couple of years via phone messages. I think I've received about 2 or 3 letters, and this is the latest letter.
And we had a drive-by.
Oh, yeah, we had a drive-by, at least one that I know of. They may have driven by at other times when I wasn't paying attention or looking out the window, or perhaps with a client, or when we weren't home.
Right, I mean, this is very similar to, in certain cultures there's the drive-by shooting, this is the drive-by guilting. It's more of a Greek form of organized crime.
Anyway, they wrote me a letter, so I'm just going to read you the letter. And I think bits of it are very interesting, and those are the bits that I'd like to talk about. Dear Christina and Stefan, hello. Just to let you know, on October the 8th, oh, I thought it was October the 3rd. I guess they're leaving today. On October the 8th, we are going to Greece. So my family's going back to Greece. A couple of friends of theirs and my...
Sorry, just to visit, right, so people know. Okay.
Sorry, just to visit, yeah. A couple of friends of theirs and an aunt and uncle of mine will join my parents for a 2-week vacation to the Greek islands and 1 week in the village, their friend's village. After which, the 4 of them, the friends and the aunt and uncle, will be returning to North America, and my parents will be staying on for a few more weeks. They've only purchased one-way tickets, and my uncle, my father's brother, will look after our house and water the flowers while my parents are away. Now, that would typically have fallen in my hands whenever my sister lives halfway across the country, so she wouldn't be able to do it, obviously. Completely across the country, yeah, on the other coast. And so that would have definitely fallen in my hands to go by their home, maybe weekly or bi-weekly, to check the mail, to water the plants.
And we would have got the cat.
And we would have gotten the cat, which I adore. I absolutely adore this cat. Anyway, we haven't mentioned the cat yet. Sylvester is our cat. He'll be...
No names! Sylvester's gonna sue! Sorry, go ahead. Sure, I can't talk about your patients.
You don't know about my patients.
What patients?
Right.
Thank you.
Sylvester. I love that cat. I just absolutely adore that cat.
He's a very friendly cat.
He's just an absolutely beautiful cat. He's
very good-natured.
He's a rare breed, apparently. Just absolutely gorgeous, big furball, beautiful cat. Anyway,
yeah, see how Christina's very pro fur. It's very hard for me to have the cat around.
Well, given my own mange, I'm kind of
Mane, not mage. I'm the mange. You're the mane.
You're my mange, darling.
Sweetie.
Given my very own mange.
See, this is a good thing I'm driving. Otherwise, we'd have to stop this podcast and just make out what with that kind of proto-romantic babble going on. Anyway, on with the serious letter. This is a serious show.
My little Sylvester is going to be at some animal hospital.
I don't think hospital, is it?
Yeah, it's an animal hospital.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So okay.
It's an animal hospital, probably with a shelter or some kind of
right.
pet vacation place.
Right.
Anyway, should anything happen to us, please take care of him. That's my parents' request.
And that's the request with the hand on the forehead. Should
anything happen to us. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they go on to say that last May, one of my first cousins visited with us for a few days. He gave us some money from his sister, obviously my first cousin as well. This sister, my first cousin, she used to live here. She lived here for many, many years, about 18 or 20 years. She came when I was 5, and has been back in Greece for a number of years with her family. And I thought for a very long time, I guess we were very close, but the definition that I used for closeness is very different than the definition that I use for close now. But we did spend a lot of time together. Anyway, she sent some money for me. I'm not quite sure what the money was about or what it was for, but she sent some money. And so we kept the euros and are sending you the equivalent in Canadian dollars, check enclosed. And indeed, they have done that.
Did you get that?
No, actually, I'm going to deposit it this week.
Okay.
Christina, it has been almost 2 years' time since we last saw you, and you said a few months, quote unquote. We have respected your wish, and we will not bother you we have not bothered you other than a couple of just to let you know notices.
Which is not true.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time they contacted you, they wanted something from you very badly. So that's just it wasn't the case, right?
Right. Although the suspense is killing us. This is what kills me. This next statement kills me. Ma is very depressed and cries every day. Very seldom smiles. We really, really wish and hope to see you and Stefan, or at least talk to you on the phone before we go. And if we have said or done anything unintentionally that hurt or offended you, please forgive us, as we do not hold anything against you. The only thing that we have for you is love, and only love. Love that comes from the heart. So please, if you can find it being in quotation marks, in your heart, call us. We only want to know how you are. And with that, we wish you and Stefan health, love, happiness, and prosperity, and all your dreams and wishes to come true. With love, Ma and Ba. Ba being the Greek for father.
You know, it's really only coming to me now what a bad daughter you've been.
I'm horrible, aren't I? I'm selfish.
Oh my God, they love you so much. They've done nothing. They only wish you the best. They have only love for you. You see, only love, and they just anything that they did to hurt you was merely unintentional.
Right.
And they don't want to be intrusive. They just want to know how you are, and how I am, and that they just need a little bit of information. And you said only a few months, and it has in fact been almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So you got this letter, and how are you with it?
Well, when I first read it, I was emotional because everything that, they pulled my heartstrings.
Yep.
They did their intention. Their letter had exactly the intent initially that they had wanted it to have.
And what was that? What was that for you emotionally?
It was horrible. It was guilt. It was feeling wretched about not having seen them for a couple of years. It was. Well, you tell them. What was I feeling? What did you see? What did I express?
Well, you felt guilt. There were some key phrases in there that were very hard for you, of course. The one that I think was the hardest for you was that your mother is depressed, rarely smiles, and cries every day.
Right.
I think that was very hard, and the fact that your father was writing this gives it kind of like independent verification. If your mother said, I cry every day, and this, you'd feel it was manipulative, but your father as a third party writing this on behalf of your mother, it's almost like an appeal from a judge. It's almost like an appeal from a third party. It feels more true when somebody else says something like that than when the person who is crying every day says that. Does that
right?
The fact your father said it was, I think, quite important.
Yeah, it was. It was just. It had its intended effect. It made me feel guilty. It made me feel selfish. It made me feel self-centered. It made me feel like I was responsible for the pain and suffering that they are feeling. And it took me a little while to just sort of reorganize my thinking.
Sure.
To see it for what it really was. And of course, Steph was there to help me through that process, but it is very obvious to me now when I read this letter what exactly is happening. And so what I did was, for my own benefit, and this might be useful for people who listen to Free Domain Radio who might be trying to go through this process, to write a letter outlining your own thoughts and feelings. And the letter, this is something that we recommend in therapy, to write a letter, an angry letter, a passionate letter, a self-pity letter, whatever comes out, not for the purpose of sending it, but for the purpose of clarifying your own thoughts and feelings, and sometimes using it as a starting point and sometimes using it as an ending point.
Right. I mean, if I understand the theory correctly, sweetie, I think that it's because in these kinds of families, the children don't have a voice. They can't speak their mind. They can't speak their feelings. And certainly one of the things, I don't want to get into any details that you don't want to talk about, but one of the things that occurred for us as a married couple, because we've been married for almost 4 years, and for the first 2 years of those 4 years, we saw your parents regularly. They were at our wedding. We would go over. We went to family functions, extended family functions. I mean, it wasn't a treadmill by any means, but it was something that we were involved in. I didn't particularly enjoy it, but it was important to you, and those are the things that you do.